Beloved Guru Deva, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. O great ones, strengthen us to be ever more attuned to thy energy, thy magnetism, thy uplifted consciousness. We long to know thee. Bless us. Om Shanti, Shanti. We'll hear a song now and then see a video clip of Swamiji on this topic of how to remain centered in an uncentered world. Welcome again, everybody.
The green summer fade and winter draw near. My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend. The green summer fade and winter draw near. My Lord, in your presence I live without fear. Through tempest, through snows, through turbulent tide, the touch of your hand is my strength and my guide. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. I ask for no riches that death can destroy. I crave only thee, your love and your joy. The dancers will pass, the singing must end. I welcome the darkness with you for my friend.
In the desert, It's a wonderful place to meditate because there's a real feeling of peace there. Om is very loud there. Desert, I would recommend, is a place to go. But many people cannot do that. Is yoga excluded from them, or are they excluded from yoga? No. You can be these things, you can do these things, if first of all you understand that your own body is your temple, your heart is your hermitage, the more you live inwardly. And so this becomes finally a matter of general attitude and practice. Even when you are with other people, feel that you are in yourself. Don't feel that you're out there with them. Always remember to do everything that you do it from your center. And when people try to get you excited and so on, just deal from your center. You'll find in time that you don't get upset if they insult you. You don't get upset or pleased if they praise you. You find there's a certain part of you that, I know before I met my guru, there was a period there where I felt that I wasn't in this body. I was watching my body doing what it did. Well, this is something I probably incorporated on a deeper level into myself, but then it was literally as if I was watching myself doing these things. I do it in another way now, but I watch from my own center, which is in the heart. And the more you can do that, the more you find that the way they act doesn't touch you, and you are in silence. You're withdrawn from in a crowd of people. You don't have to be involved in that. You can be in yourself, looking at it or not looking at it. And so wherever you go, take your hermitage with you. Krishna is telling people above all to seek that inner hermitage of the heart. Yes, it's good to go into solitary places. Certainly it will help you. But sometimes you need to sharpen a knife, you have to have some abrasive that will wear the metal down to that fine point where it will be sharpened. You can use it effectively. So sometimes the company of other people, it may be abrasive, but it can also help you. So don't feel that whatever circumstances your karma has given you, don't feel that you are unfortunate. Everything can be it can be turned to good fortune if you try to understand it. If people do irritate you, then try to bring yourself to that point where you won't be irritated. You have to become strong in yourself. God is not found by weaklings. And the more you can develop this inner strength, the more you will be able to stand, as my guru put it, unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds.
Hello again, everybody. I'd like to start by reading from this beautiful new book of Master's teachings, How to Live Without Fear. This is a wonderful poem. My soul is marching on. The shining stars are sunk in darkness. The weary sun is dead at night. The moon's soft smile doth fade anon, but still my soul is marching on. The grinding wheel of time has crushed full many a life of moon and stars, and many a brightly smiling morn, but still my soul is marching on. The flowers bloomed, then hid in gloom. The bounty of the trees did cease. Colossal men have come and gone, but still my soul is marching on. The eons one by one are flying. The arrows one by one are gone. Dimly, slowly, life is fading, but still my soul is marching on. Darkness, death, and failures vied to block my path. They fiercely tried my fight with jealous natures strong, but still my soul is marching on. The beautiful poem, beautiful words of Master. And we may think that roaming by the Ganges or living in a cave in the Himalayas is what we would like to do, and it's a better life, it's an easier life, but it's not the life we've been given. Maybe it's better, maybe it's easier, but it's not It's not our life. And we're living the life of very high birth that our guru has given us. And we follow in their master's footsteps and Swamiji's. And you think of master's life, he lived in Boston. He taught in all the major cities all around America. He went to America during the time in 1920. I mean, it was the roaring 20s. It was a wild time in America. Master set up his center, headquarters in Los Angeles. He had a Hollywood church. I mean, he wasn't hiding in the Himalayas. He was out in the city, in the cities. He taught in every major city throughout America. And you think of the life of Lahiri Mahashaya. When he met Babaji, he would have longed to have stayed with his guru. But Babaji said, no, you must go and show the example that one can live in the world and can be centered and can seek God and can feel the presence of God. Go back to your family, your wife, your children, your job. And Lahiri Mahashaya, for 25 more years, worked as an accountant. And he kept his center, the vibration of God was with him all of the time. And look at Swamiji's life. He traveled around the world, teaching thousands and thousands of people, of course, writing books and music, but he was always with, a lot of times with people in different cities all throughout the world. And some people have said to me, well, you're happy because you sit home and you just meditate and chant Om all day. And I said, well, sounds wonderful, but that's not my life. I was born in Los Angeles. I lived there. I've lived in Delhi. I live in Delhi. I lived in Rome. I've traveled in many different countries. I'm going all around India, practically every other week, traveling somewhere. And it's the life we've been given. And so we have to embrace and know and have faith that Master knows what he's doing. He would have planted us somewhere else if he wanted us to be elsewhere, but he's planted us where he has, and where God has placed us, he must come. And so, yes, there are difficulties, there's challenges, there's health challenges, there's challenges with pollution, there's challenges with traffic, there's overcrowding, there's challenges with finances, there's challenges with friends or so-called friends, there are challenges with the relatives, there's challenges with the weather, there's every challenge you can possibly want. But as Swamiji said, it's making us stronger and stronger. But Master said, I love those words, you'll be able to stand unshaken. If you practice, if you go inside yourself every day and you feel that power of God that's in you, that's the aura that's all around you, the magnetism, the energy, the spiritual power, the will, the inspiration, the light of Om is with the disciples and with the devotees. And so what can we do? Well, there are many things we have to keep in mind. One is we have to make sure that our sadhana is rock solid. I was traveling here in America, and I just noticed even just taking a trip anywhere, it just is completely, there's all kinds of people, all kinds of vibrations. I went on a plane, and the airport is completely crowded and people running everywhere and going from one gate to another and just total chaos. And getting on the plane, sitting squished with people next to you and you don't know who they are, and then getting out and finding the people picking you up and on and on. It's uncentering if you're not centered. And that's the point, that for one thing is the sadhana every day, twice a day. Just keep your energy strong. And so look at our practices. They are to keep us centered. They're keep us centered in God. Every practice we have is to keep us centered in God. And you look at energization, that's to give us more energy flowing in the spine, more magnetism, more strength, physical strength, more willpower. That comes from energization. So you can face the things that are challenging you instead of shrinking down. The Hong Sa technique is, the quality of that practice is peace. It gives you peace of mind. We practice that every day. We practice energization every day. The Om technique gives you a vibration of drawing your energy within and up and listening inside for the voice of God that you can follow all day long if you're in tune with it. And the intuition will guide you. Go here, don't go there. Call this person, do that, go here. And then the other one is Kriya. Kriya gives you the experience, or the quality of Kriya is, Swamiji said, is joy. So you have energy, magnetism, you have focus with Hong Sa, and also peace of mind. You have an uplifted vibration of going within with Om, and you have joy, the joyfulness with the Kriya practice. And so first thing is to keep your sadhana rock solid. And secondly, going into your day, read something. I mean, we should have a toolkit that you have all the practices, all the books, all the talks, all the whatever's on YouTube of Swamiji and other acharyas. You have the talks, you have the music, you have everything. You have your affirmations, and I'll show you some books afterwards that could help you with that. But second thing is, take into your day, after you meditate, remain centered, read something, take some of our reading is what I'm saying, and take those words with you. Do an affirmation after your meditation. Take that affirmative, positive thought. There's so much negativity out there, every direction. The people here are coming for the gardens. They're so happy. They're just saying people are so kind. I mean, my goodness, why aren't people kind? Many people aren't. But kindness is, for a devotee, is absolutely shows that you're practicing the techniques. And so as you go into your day, have an affirmative affirmation, have the thought of kindness, of giving to other people. I went to a hotel, actually it was in India before coming here, and there was a problem with at the desk with the bill at the end, and the lady who was helping me, she had helped me the whole time I was there, and so she was saying, well, I'll try to fix this. And I mean, great, it wasn't, and other people would be yelling and screaming, and at the end, of course she did fix it. And then she said at the end, she says, you're the nicest person I've met here in the hotel in 3 years since I've started working here. I didn't think that was a compliment. I thought, what's wrong with people? Really? So as you go into your day, take the vibration of giving, of kindness, of joy, of light, of inspiration from your meditation, from reading something. Take a book with you. Listen to the talks on the way to work in the car instead of some music or talk shows that people listen to. They're not healthy, spiritually healthy. And then thirdly, go with the gurus. Really feel, Master, go with me. When you're in some dire situation, chant Om Guru. We know that story of Norman driving down the hill of Mount Washington, and that truck, the flatbed truck, and the brakes went out, and and then the loss was losing control, and he just said, Master, is this what you want? And that truck was able to come to a stop. And we just have to know the guru's with us in every situation. And Swamiji told a story of when he was walking. There's so many wonderful ones. He was walking in not a very good area of San Francisco, and an uplifting area of San Francisco. And he said it was just, he had to go there he was meeting somebody who was helping him with some of his music. So he said it was could have been very uncentering, but he said he just out loud, not just in his heart, but out loud, he was just singing Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, the whole time going through that terrible area of San Francisco. It's something that you can do, or Om Babaji, or Om Master, or Master said, when you're an Om, nothing can touch you. And we know the story of Dr. Lewis, who was sailing and his boat nearly capsized, and then he remembered what Master said. He held his consciousness at the spiritual eye, and he just felt centered in God. I think people, they try to meditate at least, and then don't take it into their activities or their day. And he said he just felt the presence of God, and everything turned out. He got back to shore fine, and when he got home, the phone rang, and it was Master, and Master said, doctor, you almost got a little wet. Now, how did he know? Because the Guru knows. If you include him in your day, include Divine Mother, chant Om Babaji, Om Lahiri. Lahiri Mahashaya said to some of the devotees, disciples, he gave them a picture. And I love carrying a picture of Lahiri Mahashaya with me. Of course, carrying a picture of Master, all of it. Carry a travel altar. And if you're going on a trip somewhere, definitely have a travel altar and put it there in the room. And Swamiji said those photographs, the pictures, they emanate light. And so he told the devotees, the disciples, they were he said, if you see it as just a photo, that's what it is. If you see it as a protection, that's what it is. We need to see these things, the books, the music, the pictures, they're a protection. And so some lightning storm came, and I think lightning hit the table where they were studying, they were reading, but they had that picture of Lahiri Mahashaya, and nothing happened to them. And so you've got to remember, I think we just forget. We have to remember that the gurus are there. They want to be with us. And Swamiji said this, and I'll say it again, that when you can, take time to recharge yourself, to rejuvenate yourself. I know people who never take time off. I mean, I hear people going on vacation and they come back, I need a vacation after the vacation. And, they've gone crazy, but you need time alone. Even if you just shut your bedroom door for one day even, but the time that that's why I'm here at Ananda Village, the time you're with God, the time you can meditate more, you can do more postures, you can read, study more, you can walk through the forest or the park or whatever and just feel God is with me. Recharge your spiritual batteries, uplift yourself, become more inspired. And that's why I come to the village once a year. And so you need some time, you need to figure it out in your own life. But I see people going everywhere, but they don't put any time into just being alone with God. And finally, have that kind of give back to God at the end of the day, anything that has happened. Now, I find this to be so helpful. All kinds of things happen. Swamiji said, build a mental bonfire and just put everything in there. That difficult discussion with somebody, or the person who blocked you in their car on the highway, or whatever it is, and then you just feel freed of it. And as you do that, you find it's like a purification for yourself, and you just give it to Divine Mother and say, I did my best. I tried my best today to be centered. I tried to be joyful. I tried to not be argumentative, or I tried to be not fearful, or whatever it was. And you'll feel that God's presence is stronger and stronger as you try. That presence gets stronger and stronger, and you feel it with you. And then as you do that, you find that negativity and negative circumstances tend to go in the other direction a lot of the times. I want to close with a fabulous story that I have read on these programs before, the satsang before, but maybe a lot of you haven't heard it. It's on the power of Om. I got it from the ananda.org site. When Om came, a lady once said to Paramahansa Yogananda, all my troubles vanished. So now this is the story. A friend who I will call, this is someone who wrote this to Ananda Sangha, who I will call Nancy, told me recently how her troubles had also vanished in the consciousness of Om. Nancy was waiting to make a deposit at her bank when suddenly she found herself in the middle of a robbery. It was a highly stressful situation, and Nancy said she lost it emotionally. After the robbery, Nancy was disappointed. This is a true story, in herself for reacting so emotionally. To change this tendency in herself, she began chanting Om all day long. Whenever there was a tense situation, Nancy would silently and lovingly call on the healing power of Om to calm her and others. Om is the great comforter. Paramahansa Yogananda said that when you're in the consciousness of Om, nothing can touch you. 3 years later, Nancy was at her bank. Maybe she should have changed banks. And another robbery occurred. This time it was a much more violent one. During the bank heist, Nancy was knocked to the floor, but her constant practice of thinking of and chanting Om kept her calm and centered. As Nancy began crawling discreetly away from the robbers, a hysterical woman latched onto her, and she guided the terrified woman out of the sight of the robbers, where they both would be safe. Later, during an interview with the FBI, Nancy was told that the odds of being involved in 2 bank robberies were incredibly low. She was the only witness who could give an accurate description of the robbers. Nancy attributed her calmness, to her practice of tuning in to the unifying presence of Om. God bless you all. I'll ask Nitendra to join me now on the screen. We have a few questions.
Yes, Dhyanaji, thank you so much. We have 3 questions. The first one, Dhyanaji, is even though I know that meditation is the right thing for me, but I often deviate from that daily practice and get into worldly activities. So, what can help me get back on track?
I would say don't deviate, because it's just not worth it. Your life can get just really difficult, and you don't have anything. What's your protection? I mean, you don't have a center if you don't do the practices. So I would say go to the centers, get back going with the acharyas there, go online. I mean, we have home study, we have online. There's so many ways you can get back into meditation. But for God's sake, get back. I mean, really, look out there. We're not living in peaceful times. It's the world crisis, the vibrations of what's happening out there, that you don't know what's around the corner. You have to stay in Om. You have to stay centered in the gurus. And Master said, you might think this path is hard, but look outside. So, I mean, the fact that he's brought us to this path, it's a formula, it works. These things work. If you do them, you get better and better and better, and more centered, and more clear, and more, it's more Shakti flowing. I mean, some people don't have any energy flowing. They're just sitting weak spined like this. You can't make it through life like that. I was remembering a story. I know it's time, but I have to tell the story that Master went in, he was in Central Park, and he went in, and the police, the guards at the gate said, we don't even go in there, but it's dark. Is it nighttime? He said, we don't go at night. And he said, I'm going to see the moon rise. He said, I don't care. So he went in, and then somebody sat down to see the moon rise, and a man came over, and he says, give me a nickel. Master, give him a nickel. Give me a dime. Here's a dime. Give me a quarter. Give him a quarter. Give me 50 cents. And Master stood up and said, out. The man just fled. And then the guards, the police said, what did you do to that man? He said, he ran out of it. He says, so we just had a friendly conversation or something like that. But I mean, you sometimes have to speak loudly. You can't let people run over you. That's the other thing. So if you're centered, whatever needs to happen, the appropriate thing will happen. There's got to be some energy flow. You can't just expect, God help me. You've got to be helping yourself. Okay, then?
Next one, Dhyanaji, is how can I keep my sadhana going when I have to travel or when someone in the family is in hospital or when we, let's say, have a wedding or a function at home?
Okay, I'll say this. 3 words, do your best. You will know, do your best. Sometimes you have to do less, but why not catch up later? People do less and less and less and less till you're just lying there on the bed. So you need to do something. So if you have to do less when you're traveling, do more when you get home. And I mean, if you're traveling and it's a quiet place, sometimes you can do more. So don't make an excuse. I'm traveling. Oh, this happening. Or oh, that's happening. That happens. I can't meditate. This happens. I can't meditate. I mean, you eat every day, don't you? Hey, 3 big meals. So I think if you can eat, you can meditate. So just do less if you have to do less, but don't cut it out. It's just, I've seen that, and I'm sorry for people because it's just, you start sliding and it goes pretty fast once you start on that track. Then?
One last question, Dhyanaji. If we remain centered within, then does that also change our outward circumstances?
Oh, surely. Like is attracting like, isn't it? And so if you're centered and you're selfless, happy, sharing, all that, you're going to attract those kind of people. Now I'm going to end with a really great story. I know we don't have time, but this is short. So this relates to that. So a guy here at Ananda told me this, that he was going to a chiropractor regularly here, not in the village, but somewhere nearby. And he said the man was always negative, talking against Ananda and you people and you know. So the guy just kept going. He just inwardly was praying for the man. So the guy came to the tulips this year or last year, I don't remember which. And he said he came with the thought of being negative. He came to be negative. So he said he came, he looked around all the flowers and the tulips, and he sat on the step there at the Crystal Hermitage, and he said, I really tried to be negative, but I just couldn't. He said, I just couldn't do it. So if you get yourself in the good situation, you just have to be happy. You have to feel selfless. And so work more at not what you shouldn't do, but more put energy into the sadhana, into affirmations. And by the way, I don't want to forget to show you these books that might help you along the way. This one I would surely get, and they're in the chat, right, Nitendra? Do an affirmation. This one, How to Awaken Your True Potential. Fabulous. Another great book with great quotes from Master. And How to Have Courage, Calmness, and Confidence. All these are recommended for this topic, and Living Wisely, Living Well. Okay, thank you, Nitendra. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.